In the vast tapestry of existence, each of us is but a single thread, intricately woven through time and space. But this thread is not simple and straight. It twists and turns, doubling itself in ways we can barely comprehend. This, dear reader, is the essence of reincarnation, the belief that the soul travels through many lifetimes, gathering experiences, wisdom, and sometimes unresolved issues along the way. Imagine for a moment that you are not the product of your current life experiences, but the culmination of countless lives that have come before. What if the inexplicable fears that grip your mind, the passions that drive you forward, the relationships that define your world are all echoes of past existences? This is the power of past lives. It is a concept that has fascinated humanity for thousands of years and continues to capture our imaginations in the modern era. As you begin your journey of self-discovery, ask yourself these provocative questions. Have you ever felt an inexplicable connection to a certain period in history or a distant place you've never visited? Have you found yourself drawn to a particular skill or interest with an inexplicable natural affinity? Do you have recurring patterns in your relationships or careers that make you feel like you're repeating the same scenarios over and over again? These questions are not simply rhetorical. They are a gateway to understanding the profound impact that past lives can have on your present existence. The concept of karma, often misunderstood in Western culture, plays a key role in this understanding. Karma is not simply a system of punishment and reward in the universe. Rather, it is an accumulation of unresolved experiences and lessons that our soul carries from one life to the next. Think of karma as the spiritual equivalent of compound interest. Each action, thought, and intention creates an energetic imprint that continues to shape our future life circumstances. This is why we often get caught in cyclical patterns, facing similar challenges or opportunities in other lifetimes. It is as if our soul presents us with the same test over and over again until we finally learn the lesson and break the cycle. Take a moment now to reflect on your life. Are there any feelings or behaviors that defy logical explanation? Perhaps you have an irrational fear of water, even though you have never experienced anything traumatic in this life. Or perhaps you feel a heavy sense of guilt on your conscience, even though you cannot pinpoint the exact cause. These may be remnants of past life experiences, echoing through time and affecting your current reality. Consider Sarah, a young woman who was always drawn to the medical field, despite growing up in an artistic family with no medical connections. From an early age, she displayed an uncanny ability to comfort the suffering and an intuitive understanding of the human body. It was not until she underwent past life regression therapy that she discovered her past life as a battlefield medic during World War I. The skills and compassion she honed in that life are still a large part of her soul's makeup and have led her to a fulfilling medical career in this life. Or consider Michael, a successful businessman who, despite his material wealth, always felt a gnawing emptiness inside. He was driven by an endless need for more money, more power, more recognition. As Michael explored his past life, he discovered a life of extreme poverty and deprivation. The fear of lack he experienced then still drives his actions in the present, creating a cycle of endless striving that leaves him dissatisfied. These examples show how past life experiences manifest in our present reality, shaping our personality, fears, and desires. But rather than being a deterministic force that locks us into predetermined patterns, understanding our past lives can be a powerful tool for personal transformation. By exploring the rich tapestry of our soul's journey, we gain valuable insight into the core issues that have followed us through many incarnations. This awareness allows us to make conscious choices in the present, freeing us from limiting patterns and embracing our full potential. Imagine that you can find the source of your persistent fears in a past life. With this knowledge, you can heal old wounds and free yourself from their grip in the present. Or consider whether understanding the skills and wisdom you have accumulated over many lifetimes can empower you to more fully engage with your purpose in this life. As you stand at the threshold of this exploration, I want to tell you that the journey ahead is one of profound growth and self-discovery. As you embrace the concept of past lives, you gain a broader perspective on existence, one that spans centuries and transcends the limitations of a single lifetime. In the following chapters, we will delve deeper into specific archetypes and patterns that often emerge from past life influences. We will explore practical tools for accessing past life memories and integrating their lessons into your current reality. Most importantly, we will begin a transformational journey that will empower you to live more fully and authentically in the here and now. Remember, the goal of this exploration is not to dwell on the past or use past lives as excuses for your current situation. Rather, it is to gain a deeper understanding of your soul's journey, to recognize the patterns that have shaped your existence, and to use that knowledge to make positive changes in your current life. As I conclude this introductory chapter, I ask you to approach the concepts and exercises that follow with an open mind and an open heart. Allow yourself to be curious, to ask questions, to explore. Your past lives are not separate from who you are today. They are an essential part of your soul's ongoing evolution. As the great Carl Jung said, "I am not what happened to me, but what I choose to become." By understanding your past lives, you are empowered to make more conscious choices about who you want to be in this life. This is the true power of past life exploration. It is the ability to transform your present and shape your future by understanding the rich tapestry of your soul's journey. Dear readers, are you ready to embark on this fascinating journey of self-discovery? Are you ready to unravel the mysteries of your past lives and use their wisdom to create a more fulfilling present? If so, turn the page and let's embark on this transformative adventure together. As we delve deeper into the archetypes that often appear in our past lives, we encounter two seemingly opposing yet intricately connected roles, the loner and the leader. These archetypes, shaped by countless life experiences, can have a profound impact on our current behavior, relationships, and life choices. Let's explore each one in turn to unravel the threads of our past experiences that have woven these patterns into the fabric of our present existence. First, let's consider the loner. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a lonely figure standing apart from the crowd, cloaked in isolation. This image can resonate deeply with some people, evoking a familiar pain of loneliness or a comforting sense of self-reliance. The loner archetype often appears in past lives characterized by long periods of isolation, either by choice or by force. Imagine living as a hermit in a remote mountain cave, devoting years to spiritual meditation, or as a lighthouse keeper on a remote coast, staying up all night. Such experiences of solitude, repeated over many incarnations, can leave an indelible mark on the soul. In your current life, the influence of the loner archetype can manifest itself in a variety of ways. You are naturally drawn to solitary activities and feel most peaceful when you are lost in thought. Large social gatherings can feel overwhelming, draining your energy and making you yearn for the quiet sanctuary of solitude. Consider Emily, a gifted writer who was always out of place in social situations. She preferred the company of books to people and often retreated into her rich inner world. Through past life regression, Emily discovered a series of isolated lives. As a nun in a convent, as a solitary prisoner, and as a lonely explorer exploring unknown territories. These experiences honed her capacity for introspection and self-reliance, which served her well in her writing career. But it also left her with difficulty forming close relationships and feeling connected to others. The emotional impact of the loner archetype can be enormous. It often brings with it the gift of self-reliance, introspection, and a rich inner life. But it can also lead to feelings of alienation and a deep fear of intimacy. People who are strongly influenced by this archetype may struggle with a sense of not belonging and feeling fundamentally different from others. They may unconsciously recreate the isolation they experienced in their past lives by building emotional walls to protect themselves. However, it is important to understand that the loner archetype, like all aspects of past life experiences, is not a life sentence. Awareness is the first step toward change. By recognizing the impact of past isolation on your current tendencies, you can make a conscious choice to balance your need for isolation with meaningful relationships with others. Now let's turn our attention to the leader archetype. In contrast to the loner, this one often carries the burden of isolation. Imagine a figure standing at the head of a group, shoulder to shoulder, carrying the weight of responsibility for many. This image can evoke a surge of confidence in some, while others may feel the weight of familiar expectations settling on them. The leader archetype often appears in past lives where you held significant authority and influence. Perhaps you once wore the crown of a powerful king and made decisions that affected the lives of thousands of people, or you led an army into battle and carried the fate of a nation on your shoulders. These leadership experiences are repeated over many lifetimes and can instill a natural inclination to take charge and command in your current life. People who are strongly influenced by the current leader archetype often naturally take on positions of authority. They may feel most comfortable when they are in control of a situation and may have difficulty when they have to follow the lead of others. Leadership roles seem to seek them out, even if they do not actively seek them out. Take James, a mid-level manager in a large corporation. He always felt destined for more. Despite his relatively modest position, he was constantly given additional responsibilities, and his colleagues often looked to him for guidance and direction. As he explored his past lives, James discovered a series of reincarnations in positions of power, including as a tribal chief, a military general, and an influential religious leader. These experiences honed his leadership skills and instilled in him a deep sense of responsibility for others. However, the leader archetype, like the loner, has its own set of challenges. The weight of responsibility from a past life can manifest as an overwhelming sense of duty in the present. Leaders may have difficulty delegating tasks and may feel that they must shoulder all the burdens themselves. They may suffer from isolation at the top, reflecting the loneliness of command they experienced in their past lives. In addition, people influenced by the leader archetype may have difficulty maintaining balance in their personal lives. Their drive to lead and achieve can sometimes overshadow their personal relationships and self-care. They may have difficulty showing vulnerability or admitting when they need help, a trait that can strain both their personal and professional relationships. It is interesting to note that the loner and leader archetypes, while seemingly different, are often intertwined. Many great leaders throughout history have been essentially isolated figures and have drawn strength from periods of isolation that have energized their leadership. Conversely, many who identify strongly with the loner archetype may find themselves thrust into leadership roles, and their unique perspective and self-reliance make them invaluable guides to others. The key to dealing with these two archetypes is balance and integration. For the loner, the challenge is to respect the need for isolation while also forming meaningful relationships with others. This may involve setting healthy boundaries, finding ways to recharge in isolation, and gradually expanding the comfort zone in social situations. For leaders, the task is to embrace the mantle of responsibility while also nurturing personal relationships and self-care. This may mean learning to delegate, developing trust in others, and making time for personal reflection and recovery. As you reflect on these archetypes, think about which one resonates more strongly with you. Do you feel the pull of isolation, the comfort of your own company, or do you feel the weight of leadership, the desire to lead and influence others? Perhaps you can recognize both elements in yourself. Remember, these archetypes are not mutually exclusive, nor are they fixed destinies. They are patterns of energy and experience that we have carried with us from past lives, and they influence but do not determine our current reality. By recognizing these patterns, we gain the power to consciously work with them, integrate their strengths, and resolve their challenges. Understanding these archetypes on our journey of self-discovery through past life exploration can provide valuable insight into our behaviors, tendencies, and life patterns. It provides a framework for understanding why we feel more comfortable in certain roles or situations and struggle in others. As we conclude this chapter, I want you to take a moment to think about how the loner and leader archetypes impact your life. Are there areas where you recognize the loner's isolating tendencies? Are there moments when you naturally step into a leadership role? How have these tendencies shaped your relationships, career choices, and life paths? In the following chapters, we will explore more archetypes and delve deeper into how our past lives shape our present reality. But for now, sit with these insights. Let them seep into your consciousness, revealing aspects of yourself that you may not have fully understood before. Remember, the goal of this exploration is not to label or limit yourself, but to expand your understanding of the complex, multifaceted being that you are. By recognizing the influence of your past lives, you gain the power to make more conscious choices in the present and shape your future with awareness and intention. Whether you identify more strongly as a loner or a leader, For a unique mix of the two, you must recognize that these are simply aspects of your rich and complex soul history. These are tools in your spiritual toolkit, experiences that you can draw on as you navigate the challenges and opportunities of your current life. As we move forward, keep an open mind and an open heart. The journey of self-discovery through past life exploration continues and is full of surprises, challenges, and profound insights. Accept each revelation as a step toward greater self-understanding and personal growth. In the next chapter, we will explore another fascinating archetype that often emerges from our past life experiences, the spiritual seeker. This archetype brings with it unique talents and challenges, and often intertwines with loners and leaders in interesting ways. So let's turn the page and continue our journey deep into our soul history. As we delve deeper into the landscape of past life archetypes, we meet a central figure in humanity's spiritual evolution, the spiritual seeker. This archetype embodies the eternal human quest for meaning, transcendence, and connection with the divine. If you've ever felt an inexplicable pull towards spiritual practice, a deep curiosity about the mysteries of existence, or a sense that there is more to life than meets the eye, you may be tapping into the energy of the spiritual seeker in a past life. Imagine a solitary figure sitting at the foot of a sacred mountain, deep in meditation. Imagine a priest in elaborate ceremonies in an ancient temple, or a shaman traveling between worlds to bring healing to a tribe. These are all expressions of the spiritual seeker archetype, roles that many of us have played on our soul's long journey through time. Spiritual seekers often emerge from past lives devoted to a dedicated spiritual practice. Perhaps you once lived as a monk in a remote monastery, devoting your days to prayer and meditation, or perhaps you were a mystic in medieval Europe, exploring hidden realms of consciousness despite the risk of persecution. These lives of spiritual exploration leave an indelible mark on the soul, often manifesting in the present as a deep yearning for spiritual connection and understanding. The influence of the spiritual seeker archetype in your current life can manifest in a variety of ways. You may be naturally drawn to spiritual or metaphysical topics, devouring books on philosophy, religion, or esoteric practices. Perhaps you feel most alive when engaging in meditation, yoga, or other spiritual practices. You may have a natural affinity for healing modalities, or a keen intuition that seems to transcend logical explanation. Consider Sophia's story. She was a corporate lawyer who, despite her professional success, always felt that something was missing in her life. She was inexplicably drawn to Eastern philosophy and meditation, and often spent her free time at spiritual retreats. Through past life regression, Sophia discovered a series of lives devoted to spiritual pursuits as a Tibetan Buddhist nun, a Sufi mystic, and a Native American medicine woman. These past experiences were the source of her current spiritual yearning and provided context for her sense of disconnection from the modern, materialistic lifestyle. The spiritual seeker archetype often brings with it the gift of deep capacity for intuition, compassion, and inner peace. Those influenced by this archetype may find that they have a natural ability to understand and work with subtle energies. They may be the ones to whom others turn for guidance and wisdom, even if they do not have a formal spiritual title or position. However, like all archetypes, spiritual seekers also face their own unique set of challenges. One of the most common is the struggle to balance spiritual pursuits with the demands of everyday life. People who are strongly influenced by this archetype may feel a constant tension between their spiritual aspirations and the practical needs of the material world.